joint meeting of the Oceanside City Council, Community Development Commission, Harbor District Board of Directors, and Public Financing Authority is hereby called to order on April 30th, 2014. Due to the advance notice that there will be no closed session held today and no general items scheduled until 5 p.m., there is no quorum present. Therefore, the meeting is now recessed until 5 p.m. on this date.
No, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this council meeting. I'll open in a second. A couple of ground rules, if you don't mind. This is a very short meeting tonight. Well, we've got some presentations, etc. to start off with to go. We have a VIP crowd, that's all of you out there. So, live on TV, so later on for the parents on some of these issues, you get copies that you make when you replay this or from KOCT. You'll have this for your future if you want them. We have some presentations in different groups around here. Also, if you have a phone or pager, put it on vibrate. That's the sort of thing I always forget myself, and it makes things go a lot smoother. Before I start, if I could, while we have the cameras on everybody in the audience, could I see the people from schools that are here, Rancho Buena Vista or whatever, could you please stand up for us? Can I see who you are? And could we pan the audience out there at KOCT and look at these people, unless they're on federal witness protection and they don't want to see the picture. This is a group that comes from other schools to watch this. You made out, this is the shortest council meeting we've probably ever had today, so you got to slide right through it. Thank you for being here. With that, Mr. Clerk, roll call please.
Mayor Wood?
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Sanchez?
Here.
Councilmember Kern?
Here.
Councilmember Feller?
Here.
Councilmember Feline?
Here. Thank you. With that, Bella?
Yes, if you'd all please stand at this time for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Invocation tonight will be led by our City Clerk, Zach Beck, who is also the youth pastor for Gateway Community Church.
Let's close our eyes. Father, we come before you to thank you for this privilege, this blessing, this honor that we have to live in this incredible city of Oceanside. At this time, we want to seek guidance and wisdom and discernment for the deliberations and decisions that come before the council this evening. We lift up Councilmember Feller, Councilmember Kern, Councilmember Feline, Deputy Mayor Sanchez, and Mayor Wood. We also thank you for the privilege that we have living in a city where we have dedicated members of our armed services who reside here in Oceanside. We lift up them and their families at this time. In addition, we also seek guidance, wisdom, and discernment for our educators who serve this community. Would you continue to uplift them and encourage them in their vocational paths? And we come to you right now as a diverse city with different backgrounds, different beliefs, different histories, different presents, and different futures, but ultimately one common goal, and that is seeing the betterment of this city. And we know that's in your hands. And we pray these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Tonight, leading the Color Guard, Pledge of Allegiance, and singing the National Anthem, we have with us the Eagle Young Marines of Camp Pendleton in Oceanside, under the direction of Master Gunnery Sergeant and Mrs. Siegemann.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance in the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us in our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see our earthly light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the monsters
was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready, cut! Draw, ready, cut! Right, forward, cut!
You all be seated, please. They looked fantastic. Thank you very much.
No, we'll talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear the word thank you, please, yes sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, etc., hang around that group for a few minutes and get plenty of it. That's what's so wonderful. They're raising them and they're very motivated. And I thank them for coming here every so often to make it a better place for all of us. Thank you. Valerie.
For our first proclamation this evening, we have Poppy Month, and we'd like to call forward the following individuals. From the American Legion, Unit 146 in Oceanside, we'd like to call forward Suzanne Brewer, who is the Poppy Chair, along with the other members from this unit, and any students with Coastal Academy, if they'd please come forward at this time. Proclamation in honor of Poppy Month. Whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by citizen soldiers, and whereas millions who have answered the call to arms have died on the field of battle, and whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who have died in war, and whereas the red poppy has been designated as a symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars, and whereas the American Legion Auxiliary of Oceanside, Unit 146, has pledged to remind America annually of this debt through distribution of the memorial flower. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby proclaim May 2014 as Poppy Month in Oceanside, and ask that all citizens pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy during this period and on Memorial Day.
I think it's for somebody else while you speak. How's that?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for being here. I'm Suzanne Brewer, and I am the Poppy Chairman from the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 146 this year. If you haven't read or you haven't heard the poem that goes with this, it's called In Flanders Fields, and this was during and right after World War I when this was written. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up your quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. Also this month, the Coastal Academy in Oceanside, part of the classical academies, in North County, and I'm sure lots of you have heard of them. We have been, for the last, I think it's 6 years, making giant poppies that we put on the veterans' graves at Eternal Hills on the Friday before Memorial Day. If you haven't seen that, it's really worth coming out to see it, and we would like all of you to come. Our students, families, and the American Legion, as well as our post 146 will be there. There will be a short service before at 4:30 that Friday afternoon, the 23rd of May. And thank you again very much.
Let's hear it for these ladies. They do a wonderful job. And on the way out the door, if you want to buy a poppy, this is a good time to do it. Put it in your lapel. This is a very proud military town. Some of the people behind you at the dais might want to snag on you also. It's a good time to hit us up. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. I really do. Some familiar faces up here that are always involved in the community. Some out here, they're not as important, as you can see. But anyhow, ladies, thank you very much for what you do. My dad was the pastor for the DAV in the past and gave these out. I really respected him. I wish he was still here, but this is about the ones that have served and given a lot. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, if you will, please say thank you.
Our next proclamation is in honor of MiraCosta College and celebrating their 80th anniversary. And at this time, we'd like to call forward from their Board of Trustees, their President, David Broad, and Trustees Bill Fisher and George McNeil. Whereas MiraCosta College was established in 1934 as Oceanside Carlsbad Junior College and will celebrate its 80th annual commencement in 2014. And whereas MiraCosta's humble beginning of 122 students in 1934 has evolved to 14,000 students in 2014, serving coastal North San Diego County, including parts of Camp Pendleton, Oceanside, Carlsbad, Leucadia, Cardiff, Encinitas, Rancho Santa Fe, Solana Beach, Del Mar, Olive Haine, and Carmel Valley. And whereas MiraCosta's curriculum responds to a variety of community needs, offering courses for those who plan to transfer to four-year universities, those who want to achieve an associate degree or vocational certification, and those who benefit from a wide variety of continuing education programs for adult learners. And whereas more than 1,500 MiraCosta students volunteer for nonprofit agencies throughout the district each semester as part of its service learning program, and whereas students consistently report that they are attracted to MiraCosta because of the college's high standards of academic achievement and a supportive environment fostered by caring faculty and staff. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2014 as MiraCosta College Day in recognition of this institution's 80th anniversary.
You give me that? I got a. So, Mayor and Council members, thank you very much. Much appreciated. As I said, we were formed in 1934 as Oceanside Carlsbad Junior College up at Oceanside High School campus with 122 students. And that was, if you think of 1934, that was the height of the Great Depression. But people in this city had the foresight to see the link between education and economic growth. And you heard the number, we're up to 14,000 students now. 5,000 of them live in Oceanside. Just by way of giving you an update, we've grown 25% in the last 5 years. But even more remarkable is our military and veterans population has grown 50%. We now have over 1,500 either active serving or newly released veterans and 1,000 over 1,000 of their family members at our college. We've been designated military-friendly institution, which is top 15% of colleges in the country. We're also a Hispanic-serving institution. So I'm trying to remember all my facts and figures here. The economy's picking up. We're starting to hire again. We have over 1,000 employees up there, either full-time or part-time. And we're very focused on employment. We do a lot of, not just academic degrees to transfer to four-year schools, but vocational employment. And we just got a $2.75 million grant from the Department of Labor to build a career technical center where we can run things like we're very grateful to the council giving us the loan of a building to run our machine workshop and actually croupier training as well, would you believe? But and so we're focused on that. We're also very focused on student success, not just getting students in, but making them successful. Unfortunately, we're not going for a bond this year, but we did manage to build some brand new sustainable science labs up here at the Oceanside campus, so we can educate hundreds more students. That was a real bottleneck. We're collaborating actively with Oceanside Unified. In fact, we're having a joint meeting with them in 2 weeks' time, our second one. After our first one, we both lost our superintendents, but I'm sure they're not linked. We have a Gear Up program with them. I don't know if you know what that is. That's a 7-year program where you take every student in the 7th and 8th year of Jefferson and Chavez and mentor them, give them support, and follow them all the way through high school with the aim of increasing their rate of college attainment. And we're also working on a collaboration with Oceanside Unified and Cal State San Marcos to smooth the interactions between the institutions so students can go smoothly through. So we're pretty busy. It's not all good news. We are losing our superintendent president, Dr. Francisco Rodriguez, at the end of May. He's going to be Chancellor of Los Angeles Community College District, I think the largest in California, a real challenge. But there's an opportunity for you here. We're having a gala event on June the 14th, which the proceeds will be to honor Dr. Rodriguez, and the proceeds will go to our Opportunity Scholarships Fund. We raised $100,000 for all those Gear Up students to guarantee that they came to Miracosta, we'd give them a scholarship. We're trying to do $500,000 this year and up to $1.5 million in 2 to 3 years. So just want to say thank you all, and we're here to serve you. Send us your kids. Thank you.
I just want to say that one of the remarkable things of the last 5 years has been Dr. Francisco Rodriguez. He's been extraordinary. He's been a full-fledged community member. He's a brilliant academician. He has moved the college forward in major, major ways in the last 5 years. I'm going to be really sad to see him go, but he's going, I won't say to a better place, but he's going to a bigger place, and he'll work miracles there too.
The only thing I'd like to add to this particular group is that although we are seen as a college that caters to high school students who have just gotten out of high school, the fact of the matter is we have many, many programs for older adults. Some of them are free, some of them are at small charge. We have them at our mission facility, we have them at the main facility, and we have them down at our San Elijo campus. So there's absolutely no reason whatsoever that all of you can't come to Miracosta next fall. Thank you very much.
Take care.
These three gentlemen for the board are amazing, and I know that. You go to college, the students here, you go to a 2-year college, it saves your parents a lot of money, which I'm sure you don't care about. My daughters didn't, but it gives you a starting pace to go from there and get guaranteed to go to a four-year college. It's really a thing. It saves a lot of money. Keep that in mind for the parents too, because my daughters didn't. But anyhow, it's a wonderful facility out there, serving a lot of people. I go out there between the people from colleges around the area, high schools, the military personnel. Wonderful campus with wonderful people. For you can thrive on education and move on. So that's wonderful. But some of these people sit on these boards for free and run for it. Dave, the gentleman in the middle with a fancy tie, used to be in charge of Gin and Tech out here in Oceanside. That's a multi-billion-dollar corporation out here in Oceanside, and he was in charge of it. And he retired, and now he's helping out the college. So that shows you the people that are sitting on it have some experience in the other fields, and both of the other presidents here that sit here as their representatives, you see them at every event in Oceanside. They really, truly care about the area. With that, I think we're going to move on to more education, if I may. Please.
Yes, right now we have two proclamations that we'd like to give to the Oceanside Unified School District. And we'd like to call up the following individuals at this time. We have one that's called the Teacher of the Day Proclamation, and we'd like to call up Terry Hart, who is the president of the Oceanside Teachers Association, and with him, Tina De La Rosa, who is one of our local teachers. For the Classified Employee Appreciation Week, we have Debbie Kelly, who's president of the California School Employees Association, Chapter 370, and with her, Cindy Clark, who is one of those employees. And then we have Dr. Adrian Hakes, who's president of the OUSD Board of Trustees, here to show her support this evening.
We got the tip of the lance here for education tonight, college and the school district, and thank you all for being here.
Our first proclamation is in honor of the Oceanside Unified School District's Day of the Teacher. Whereas teachers make our public schools great and help to open students' minds to ideas, knowledge, and dreams. And whereas teachers keep American democracy alive by laying the foundation for good citizenship. And whereas teachers fill many roles as listeners, explorers, role models, motivators, and mentors. And whereas teachers are deserving of recognition for the work they do to nurture the next generation of citizens. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby proclaim May 14th, 2014 as the Day of the Teacher in recognition of the wonderful work that all teachers do for the students in the City of Oceanside.
You get this too for a present.
I'd like to thank Mayor Wood for the recognition of the contributions of teachers in Oceanside in May, on that May 14th, and as well as all of the contributions that teachers make throughout the whole school year.
That's it. Too late to see what hit on that.
Our next proclamation in honor of the Oceanside Unified School District is for Classified Employee Appreciation Week. Whereas the California School Employees Association and the California State Legislature have designated the third week in May as Classified School Employee Week. And whereas classified professionals provide valuable services to schools and students of the Oceanside Unified School District. And whereas classified professionals serve a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of OUSD students. And whereas classified professionals employed by OUSD strive for excellence in all areas relative to the educational community. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby proclaim May 18th through 24th of 2014 as Classified Employee Appreciation Week throughout the City of Oceanside.
Mayor, Council, I'd like to thank you for the recognition of the dedicated staff of classified employees, not only classified employees, but the entire district, but teachers also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Oh, come on. I'll say I'd like to say something on behalf of the board. We are very proud of our teachers and our classified employees, and they have suffered just a little bit in the last few years with the budget cuts that we've had a really hard time financially because we're dependent upon the state. Fortunately, we're coming out of that, but these people really work hard for our kids, so please give them a big hand. Thank you very much.
Oh,
all right.
Anybody in that photo?
For our final proclamation this evening, it's in honor of National Bike Month, and we'd like to call forward both Howard LaGrange and Steve Tisdale to receive this proclamation. In honor of National Bike Month, whereas the month of May is National Bike Month and May 16th, 2014 is National Bike to Work Day, and whereas this month-long event promotes bicycle community, safety, and driver awareness of bicycle riders, and whereas promotion or other support of biking to work improves the region's economic prosperity and quality of life, and whereas San Diego County area employers can improve mobility and reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the region and their work sites by offering incentives to employees to encourage biking to work and other alternatives to the solo commute. And whereas the City of Oceanside promotes and encourages employer and commuter participation in this event, now therefore be it resolved that I, Jim Wood, Mayor of the City of Oceanside, do hereby proclaim May 2014 as National Bike Month. Furthermore, I encourage employers and commuters to do their part in reducing traffic congestion on our local roadways whenever possible.
Thank you very much, Valerie and Mayor. I co-chair the Oceanside Bike Committee. I've done so probably for the past 10, 15 years. I co-chair it with Pete Benzier, so you normally see up here. Pete actually rode his bike down to San Diego because of headwinds. He just text messaged me that he's not going to make it back in time. So Pete's usually up here, sort of a standing figure. Fortunately, we have Steve, though. Steve also rides his bike every day to work here at City of Oceanside. A great example that I need to try to follow and do a better job as. May 16th, on May 16th is Bike to Work Day. I want to remind everybody that we have 3 pit stops in the City of Oceanside. We have the City Hall that will host a pit stop right up in front here of the City Hall, along with Endurance Cycles, which is a new business in Oceanside. This is a triathlon business. At the Sprinter Station at Rancho del Oro and Oceanside Boulevard, the city is also assisting another pit stop, and that's going to be held by the Performance Cycles that's down on Plaza Avenue, another local business. And then out on the St. Louis Ray Recreational Trail at Mass Buchanan Park, Omega Bikes will be hosting a pit stop. Those pit stops will be open from 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock. So for 3 hours, come by, ride your bike, pick up a t-shirt, some refreshments, etc. For those of you who feel ill at ease at riding your bike, let me suggest to you that the City of Oceanside also provides a free Traffic Schools 101 course for all adults, and it's held on a monthly basis. We've been maxing out with 30 students per month, and that's about all we can handle. But please sign up. You can sign up through the Oceanside Parks and Rec site on the city's website. So that's, I just urge everybody, do something different, ride your bike, and also look at KOSU TV. We have a new public service announcement about the fun of riding a bike.
Just with the rising cost of gas daily, I just encourage everyone to get out of their car and try bicycling. It's a lot of fun, very healthy for you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Southern California weather, we see a real increase in bicycling all around the coast, and that's for the health and the beauty. We see bicycling is wonderful, but we also have all these new bike trails all through Oceanside, all the way down to by the train lines, go all the way to San Diego. They're building them for you to have good times and be out of the traffic. So we have those between bicycling, kayaking, paddleboarding, and surfing. This is what Southern California is all about, and bicycling is the hottest thing we have going in this region. Get involved, make sure you understand the laws and the rules about you getting out there. And there are rules that apply to you just like another vehicle on the highway. So that's why they have these classes, to make it safer for all of you to do it. And I want to thank these gentlemen. Mr. Penzero, that was supposed to be here earlier, didn't get up here. This gentleman is in his 70s and up until last year, held a record of riding a bicycle from Oceanside to Indianapolis all the way across the United States. We call it Race Across America, one of our citizens. I mean, that's a long ride. I get right to the bottom of the Rockies and say, that's enough, I quit. But he goes all the way across. He held a record all the way up until last year for that Bike Across America. That's one of our citizens. Keep that in mind. That's something I probably won't do, but I'm sure most of these teachers will. And all these students from Rancho Buena Vista will probably want to do that Race Across America here. So thank you guys for being in here and making it so nice for us. Thank you. I'll go with you, Mr. Attorney, the closed session report.
Since there was no closed session, there's nothing to report. Did you want me to handle item 1 as well?
Well, let me do this. I want to have Mr. Clerk, items not on the agenda of the public. Do we have any speakers?
Yes, we do.
Take that first, okay?
First, we have Jimmy Knott.
I don't have any.
Mayor, council members, Jimmy Knott, 127 Sherry Lane. This past week, we had a wonderfully successful Earth Green Week with plenty of celebrations. But at one of these events, a gentleman just released from Pelican Bay, the state prison, was present. He participated in the library discussion on light pollution, but he pointed out how he and others were being dropped off in Oceanside without adequate social, cultural, or physical preparation, seemingly abandoned without an adequate support system, being placed in a community without family ties. His closest ones were in Los Angeles. This set up a condition of failure and potential for a repetition of potential failure and criminal behavior via the feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. This had this former felon concerned, and he came to express his fears of this failure. This is where the city of Oceanside needs to talk with the state prison director to inquire as to their process and procedures to make sure they are adequately preparing these former felons for successful transitioning into everyday life and assigning released former prisoners to more appropriate supportive communities where their families can assist them and not just dumping them on the streets of Oceanside. Thank you.
Next, we have Donna Hanson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of protesting Oceanside Puppy. I've lived in Oceanside for years, and recently this gal and I saw something that was really appalling. There was a semi-truck from Missouri that came in with puppies, and they were howling, and they also live in despicable cages that you can see in Missouri. That's the main puppy mill of the United States. And I'm really appalled that the city of Oceanside would let not only a person that doesn't tell the truth to his customers that come in to buy puppies, but also I'm appalled because I cannot believe the lies he tells. And I live in Oceanside and I love Oceanside, but when I saw that, it was unbelievable. And I'm sorry they're here. We hope to shut them down because I do not like it. I do not like them being untruthful to the public, and I do not like the way these puppies have to be brought in, and also the way their mothers and fathers live in these places. I realize the November ballot's coming up, and we will remember Keller and Fern because they were for this puppy mill Oceanside store, and I'm just really sorry they're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Young lady, if I may, I just saw an article on TV Channel 10 a while back where it showed an 18-wheeler pulling up and passing puppies through a small little hole in the back.
Yep.
That the one you were talking about? It was on Channel 10, I believe.
Yes, sir. We were on 10 News not too long ago, and the truck just happened to be there when we were there, and 10 News was there. They also talked to David Salinas, who is the owner of Oceanside Puppy, and they filmed us picketing.
Well, thank you for your time and information. I do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
I just want to make it clear
Up to the mic all the way.
we realize that there's an election coming up in November, and we are going to remember how Councilman Feline and Councilman Kern voted to allow this store to continue to do business in our city. We have to voice and we'll remember that when we go to the polls.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's sad.
Next, we have J.C.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is J.C. Playford. I'm sure each and every one of you up here are familiar with me. Today I took in some information that you didn't hire a new police chief, no contract's been signed, and then I took in information that you did hire a new police chief called Frank McCoy. Did we keep the police chief? Is he the same one who was part of the Gilbert Garcia scandal? The same one who was part of maybe covering up some things that went wrong with their police officers? The same one whose wife got an issue? The same one who get lap dances? He's your same police chief? I hear we're giving him a pay raise. Is that going on too? People of Oceanside would like to know what's going on with the police chief situation. You guys announced that you were going to do a national search for a police chief back in October. Your police chief retired. Now all of a sudden he's your interim chief, and now all of a sudden he's your chief again. The man didn't want a job. How's he your chief? How did this turn out to be? He wasn't even interested. But judging by all the things that go on underneath his command, was it him that ordered the quashing of the evidence? Was it him that got you put in that $1.5 million nightmare with Hearst? What are we doing here? I'd really like to know if he's our police chief and if we're going forward with him as a police chief. Because the city needs to know. Because somewhere along the line, it looks like he made a lot of money in this little thing since October. You know, is this the city's way of backdooring money to him to cover his legal expenses that he incurred during his wife's issue? There's a lot going on, and we'd like somebody to explain it to us. Because I've got one person this morning from City Hall saying, no, he's not going to be the new police chief, but OPD's PIO went on my tape just earlier today and said, he is our new police chief, and he did sign a new contract, so which is it? The people have a right to know.
Well, thank you. I know you don't know the system. On items not on the agenda, we're not supposed to respond to it, number one. Number two, the person who makes the selection is the city manager. You can see, he's not here today. He went up north. So it's up to him to make the final decision, and I don't have that information easily. So thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
No further public on this item.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we'll go to item number one, please, with City Attorney.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. As you know, you have a very short agenda. You really only have item 2, which is the adoption of the resolution for the special tax refunding bonds. So since we don't have a consent calendar, we'll need your waiver of the reading of that reso unless you want to listen to me read that 8-page reso. So
Move approval.
Second.
Any public on
No
this?
public.
Thank you. Back to you, sir. Please vote.
Mayor
Can you
Wood,
read it or?
Mayor Wood, we need you to vote.
Pardon?
We need you to vote as well. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Thought I did.
Hit it twice.
5-0. Motion approved.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, when you get a chance, Mr. Clerk.
Item number 2 is adoption of a resolution acting as a legislative body of Community Facilities District Number 200-1, Ocean Ranch Corporate Center, authorizing the issuance of special tax refunding bond series 2014A in a principal amount not to exceed $13 million, and approving certain documents and taking certain other actions in connection therewith.
Thank you very much. Michelle, good seeing you. Thank you.
Hello, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Michelle Lund from the City Treasurer's Office. I'm here before you today requesting authorization from the City to issue special tax bonds to refund the 2004 Ocean Ranch Corporate Center CFD bonds. The 2004 bonds have an all-in interest rate of 6%, and therefore refinancing the bonds in today's low interest rate environment, debt service payments will decline and providing tax savings for property owners within the district. Based on an analysis that was run on April 7th, we anticipate issuing approximately $12 million in bonds at an all-in interest rate of 4.7%. If we were to issue those bonds at this level, approximately $1 million or 8% net present value savings will be generated over the life of the bonds. The estimated annual debt service savings would range from $110,000 a year to $372,000 a year. The savings will be finalized at bond pricing. The bonds will be sold on a public offering basis by Stifel Nicholas, the city's underwriter, with an anticipated pricing to occur the week of May 12th and closing the week of June 2nd. So that is why we asked you to hear this tonight so we could get it into the market and get ahead of other agencies that potentially issuing CFD bonds. Tonight's approval of the resolution provides authorization to issue the bonds and to execute the related documents in connection with the refunding. That concludes my presentation, and I do have members of the financing team here, Brian Forbath from Straddle and Yaka, our bond counsel, and Sarah Oberlees from Stifel Nicholas.
Thank you very much. We have a seat at the sidebar until we get some more from public or the council. And could you bring up your 2 assistant representatives so we can get them in camera range? Good evening, by the way. Mr. Clerk, public on this?
No public.
Thank you. Back to the council. Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the Melrose Ocean Ranch project, and it is going to save the property owners $1 million. That's the anticipation. So I'm going to go ahead and move approval, move adoption.
I second. I have a second on that. No further lights. With that, please vote.
Motion approved 5-0.
Before I go on, Mr. Clerk, are we basically finished tonight?
Correct.
Thank you very much for everybody in the audience. I will go ahead and announce that the next meeting will be Wednesday, May 7th, 2 p.m. at this location. We're adjourned to that date. Thank you for everybody. Have a good night.